Welcome everybody to my first speed build in this town. The map is a Sunset Valley map which I altered slightly, and this townhouse that I'm building today is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. I definitely misjudged how big this lot actually is because this house has such big rooms. As you can see, I did not go for a classic white color. I colored the house in a slightly coppery color and added some dark gray blackish windows. As you can see, I decided to add some smaller windows in the attic, and I wanted to go for slightly bigger windows in the first and second floor. I struggled a bit when deciding which windows to put there, but I ultimately decided to use these ones, and I think they look really good. Then I added some floorings to all of the floors, and I went for some pretty light wood paneling. As you can see, I also always paint the ceilings. It bugs me so much when the ceilings aren't painted because then they're usually like this beigey color, which makes them look kind of dirty. As you can see, I just added a small letterbox and painted the trash can in a dark black tone. And then I started putting in the floor plan for the first floor. Again, I went for these light wood panels, added in some stairs and some lights, as the downstairs area is generally pretty dark. Then I added in some doors, and to make it look a little bit more unique, I painted these doors in a turquoise greenish color. Then I actually started furnishing my first room. I started with the laundry room where I put some white wood paneling on the walls. And as this townhouse does not have like a backyard or something, I put in both a washer and a dryer. I also added this shelf where you could potentially put some freshly washed, clean clothes or yeah, whatever. Then I also added these same windows which I added in the attic, which don't really provide the room with that much light, but it's okay for the laundry room, I think. And I'll add some lights later on. Decoration wise, I just put down some soap for the laundry room. And I also added this rack where you could basically, I don't know, hang a towel, hang a jacket. I was trying to match it to the wood color of the wood panels that are on the floor in the other rooms. I also tried to add some flowers for decoration, but I ultimately decided not to do that and continued with the entrance. For the entrance, I just put down a few lights and added a little floor mat. And then the program stopped recording, but I did add a tiny stool with a plant on it. On the outside of the house, I also added some pavement on the floor. As, like I said, this is a townhouse. I do not want to have like a backyard or like a large front yard or anything. I don't know about you guys, but I always have to paint like the small trim in between the floors. It also bugs me so much when it's like the default stripes or whatever. I think it looks so bad. For the upstairs windows, I didn't go for the same ones I used in the front. I used the slightly bigger ones because I wanted a little bit more light to come into these rooms. In the first kids room, which I'm starting to furnish now, I'm doing something that I've never done before, which is coloring the trim of the windows and of the wall to match. Which looks kind of stupid right now, but I promise you in the end it will look really good. Then I added some flower wallpaper to make this room a little bit more exciting. And I also wanted to add a pop of color with these shelves, so I added the same color which I used on the window trims for these shelves. Then I put down a toddler bed, but I'm going to relocate that later on, and I'm also going to change like the bedding and the color and everything. Then I put down this rug. I used to love this rug and put it in every build. Then I got kind of sick of it, but I thought for this room it would be kind of nice and make the room a little bit more cozy. And I also added these lamps to bring in a little bit more light and these curtains. Then I put down some toys, but I'm going to relocate them later. I just wanted them out of the catalog because I was planning on using them in this room. I also added a wardrobe, which I also colored in the same color as the trims, which I thought, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit too much of blue, but I kind of like the look of it. I also added radiators in every room. I don't know, maybe it's unnecessary, but I kind of like the look of them. They're kind of decorative, and I like the realism of them as well. I continued to recolor the toys and the bookshelf. Then I started to put some stuff on these shelves, so it's a little bit more decorative. I also added a lamp to bring in even more light in this room. I added this small table. I don't actually know if toddlers can like interact with it. I haven't play tested it yet, but I thought it looked kind of decorative. I also really wanted to put in like a small desk, which I did. And as you can see, I'm rearranging the room a lot. This is not like the final state of the room. I actually ended up putting these shelves back into like the nook next to the window because it just looked better than whatever I'm trying to do over here. Yeah, I also tried to add like some paintings and stuff to make it look better, but like I said, it doesn't really end up looking better, and I switched back to the shelves in this nook. Then I added whatever this is to the wall, so the wall is not that empty. Yeah, and then I started rearranging the bed, and then I did something which I do a lot, which is putting in these little stools as almost like a nightstand, and I usually add like either lamps or like flowers on them. I don't know why I do it, but I do it in almost every build, and I think it looks really, I don't know, I think it looks really good. I also added this mirror on like toddler height, which I thought was really cute. I was contemplating putting some flowers down, but I decided against it. I just added these stars and this little stuffed duck. As you can see, I've been like scrolling through the catalog, trying to add some more toys, thinking about where I could put them. And I don't know if this is functional, but I did add this thingy where you can learn how to count on. And then I went straight into the next kids' room, which is a lot of green right now. I did the same thing with window trim over here. This is a lot of green right now, but I promise you it will look so much better once the room is furnished. I added this carpet, which I am going to replace later on with a different carpet. But I saw a reference picture with like a striped carpet and I really liked it. Then I added this little desk. And then my struggle to decide which desk chair I'm going to put there started. I tried out a few desk chairs, but I ultimately went for this one. I added a mirror above the desk and a small lamp. I also decided to put down some curtains to separate the room basically and have this nook where I'm going to put the bed so that it's a little bit more cozy. I tried out a few curtains, then I went for these and I made them yellow, which I think is like a nice contrast to the green. Then I added what is, in my opinion, the highlight of this room, which is this CC knitted elephant head, basically. I am using a lot of CC in my builds, as this is a 14-year-old game. The furniture is kind of outdated, and also if you are building like a lot, you get sick of the furniture you keep using, so I try to mix it up with some CC. I'm adding this butterfly pattern on the comforter, then I placed down a smaller rug, and then I basically just copied what I did on the other side in the other kids' room as well, when I put down the small stool as a nightstand. I just think it looks really cute especially next to like these toddler beds, but I tend to also place these stools as a nightstand on normal sized beds. Then I changed the carpet up real quick, added a wardrobe, which I'm going to paint in a yellow color. As you can see, I also have like a thing for painted wardrobes or painted furniture in general. Then I placed down some wall art. I really like these CC paintings. I know there's like English language on there and a lot of people don't like it as it's not really Max's match, but I don't really care. I also added a ton of lights as this is still kind of dark because there are not that many windows in this room. Oh, here you can see me changing the carpet again. But this one's here to stay. In the meantime, I also added a toy box and some toys. I'm also going to add like this dollhouse right here. Yeah, I made a typo with move objects. Yeah, I was deciding on which colors I'm going to do this dollhouse with, but went for some a little bit more subtle colors, as there is a lot of color going on in this room as well. I also added a lot of these speakers or like Alexas to almost every room. I don't know, I just like the thought of having music in every room. This kid's room also got a small shelf with some stuff on it, but I think I'm going to delete the flowers and just add a little lamp. And that is that room done as well. Then I went straight on to the kids' shared bathroom. For the color of the tiles, I went for a color which is kind of similar, a little lighter than the color of the doors, so like a greenish turquoise. I was planning on doing like a double sink because it's like a shared bathroom, but ultimately went for this single sink but put down 2 mirrors, and yeah, I think this is like a good compromise. I also really love these lights. You're going to see them in a lot of builds of mine. I was planning on putting a tap in this bathroom, but ultimately went with a shower as the taps didn't really look right, and it's okay because there's like a tap in the bathroom which is on the 2nd floor. Of course, we can't miss these radiators. As this is a bathroom, I did put some jalousie to have some privacy. I also added these paintings, and again with the lamps. I usually also dim the lights with these lamps because they're usually a little bit too light, and I feel like it tends to make the rooms look a little overlit. Then I put down some details with some hand soap and 2 toothbrushes, and then I continued to add a few more details to this bathroom. Yeah, right, I also put down like this medical cabinet because there was so much space above the toilet. Added a laundry basket, and again with the small stool. This time I'm going to put some flowers on there. I don't know, I really like the look of it. It's small, it fits basically everywhere. Then I also put down some carpet so that your feet don't get as cold when you're brushing your teeth. And that is that room done as well. Then we move on to the floor plan of the 2nd floor. On the 2nd floor there is a 2nd bathroom, a really small office, and a master bedroom. I added a few windows, but I am going to change these windows later on eventually. Then I continued with the 2nd bathroom. In this bathroom there is going to be a tap. I went for a like beigey tiles, basically, really small beigey tiles. I also tend to copy some of the styles of some of the furniture within like a house to add like at least tiny similarities. This is like a pretty big shower again. I added some shelves where you could put like your shampoo and stuff. I placed down a platform on which I'm going to place a tub. These windows are kind of placed a little unfortunate for privacy reasons, but I am going to add jalousies as well. Yeah, you can see that they are clipping in with these windows, so I'm changing them to the other windows, which I'm using on the floor above as well. I love these stars. They are also CC, obviously, as almost everything. Of course, I added a stool. What else? And I really liked how this bathroom turned out. I think it looks really warm. Even though it's a lot of white and beige, which I try to avoid, I think it's still it turned out really well. Then I added some decorations to these shelves. Yeah, I added a towel and I think a lamp. Yeah, oh, like a candle. No, I added a lamp. That is that room done as well. Then we move on to the master bedroom, which is right next to it. I also added a radiator. Yeah, then we move on to the master bedroom. I added a few windows first, and then went on straight with the curtains. Then I placed a double bed kind of centered in the room, but I decided to change the bed exactly. Yeah, I was going for this wooden bed or this wooden bed frame instead, and then you can put the bedding in separately. This is CC again, but I really love this bedding as it hangs like over the sides a little bit more than the other usual Nexus bedding does, and I think it looks a little bit better. Then of course these tools as a nightstands. Yeah, I added also a flower and a lamp on the other side. And this was the first room where I was noticing how large I made these rooms. So it might seem a little empty, but I am putting down some more stuff. Yeah, I also added the carpet, a mirror. Then I was going in for a wardrobe next, I think. Yeah, I went in for a big wardrobe. I did paint it in the turquoise color first, but I then later changed it to like the beige color, which I think looked so much better. I added a few radiators, of course, and because I had this corner where there's like a lot of space, I added these stuffed chairs and a painting. Of course, I also placed down a lamp to light up the room a little bit. And then I still have this long wall basically overhanging, but I'm not going to put anything there for now. Yeah, next up is the kitchen, which is on the first floor. For now, the kitchen looks really dark. I'm sorry about that, but I am going to add like a lot of lights later on, and there are also going to be more windows. I went in with these lights as well, and then I added a painting and some shelves, I think. But I am going to change the shelves that I'm going to add soon. I am going to change them afterwards because I think they were like a little bit too long. You can see me again with a loudspeaker in there, and a little lamp. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to add smaller shelves later on. I also added this little kitchen island. This is a pretty like long kitchen. I added the stove over there as well. This is a pretty long kitchen, but this left me with the opportunity to put down like a small dining area behind the kitchen aisle. You'll see that soon. Yeah, but I'm still pretty satisfied with the kitchen. Yeah, you can see me putting in the fridge. I struggled a little bit with the fridge coloring, but I figured it out eventually. Yeah, I also put down a small bin. Yeah, there you can see me changing the shelves. I don't know, I just think these smaller ones look a little better. And now I'm going to add the dining area. Here you can see me adding more windows, which makes the room so much lighter already. It's still kind of dark, but I think it's okay for the kitchen area. I mean, there are a lot of lights. Yeah, I was struggling again with which chairs I should put down, because sometimes this is like a CC table, and sometimes the chairs clip into the table, and it looks a little stupid. And I think, yeah, with this one, they're not really clipping in, they're like overlapping. But I think that's fine. I don't really care. Yeah, there was like a lot of space in this kitchen as well, so I tried to put down even more stuff, but I feel it turned out pretty well anyways. So the kitchen is done, and we move on to the living room. With the living room, again, we had some problems with the lighting situation. As you can see soon, yeah, I'm going to put down these shelves, these built-in shelves basically, which I really like the look of, but once you put down lights, there's like edges on these shelves, which looks really stupid. Yeah, you can see me trying to figure out which TV I should put there. I went for this one, which is like located exactly in the right spot in between these shelves, I think. I added a fancy lamp, made it orange so that not everything is beigey and white. Yeah, and there you can see like the edges that these lamps created. But later on I am going to dim these lights as well, and I think that's going to improve the situation a lot. I also placed down this checkered carpet. I also decided to go for the curved couch you can see over here. And I added a small table with a plant over there. Yeah, then I added like a bookshelf. It's from the Into the Future pack, so it looks a little weird, but I kind of like it. I also added a piano. then a painting above it, I think. Yeah. Now that I see these walls, they look kind of pale. Maybe I should have painted them in like a color or like in a beige tone or something. Yeah, maybe I'll change that later on. Yeah, then I also added a mirror with some lights, and the lighting situation gets worse. But you could see like I turned off the intensity. I added some more radiators and a music box. Yeah, I was contemplating of doing this modern one, but I went for this old school one. Above it, I'm also going to hang a picture, or like, yeah, like this drawing, which I think is really nice. And that is almost done. Then we move on to upstairs. Yeah, this is, you can see me changing the walls with the office a little bit. And this is like the hallway. And I was struggling a little bit with this hallway because, again, it's like a really large room and I didn't really know what to put there. First, I put this table down, but I'm not really that satisfied with the table. You can see me change it later on. The walls also look pretty naked, so I added these curtains, which I think look okay. I'm not like completely sold on them, to be honest, but I think it looks fine. I also really wanted to put a big painting there, but I couldn't decide which one, but I went with this one as it adds at least a little bit of color. And then again, I was experimenting a little bit with putting a vanity over there, which I deleted again. Then I put some shelves there, which I deleted again, and then I went for my ultimate trick, which is putting down a small stool and adding like flowers or a lamp on there. I also added some lamps in the downstairs hallway and made sure there's a radiator in every room. Then I also added some lamps in the upstairs hallway. Made sure there's enough light from the ceiling as well. Yeah, and then there was like a lot of space left, so I added these lounge chairs and I placed down a carpet to make it look a little bit more cozy. Then I move on to the office, which it was really nice to decorate or like furnish a smaller room for once, as I've been decorating these pretty big rooms all the time. Yeah, but this is a pattern. You're going to see that in future builds. I tend to make giant rooms. I don't know why. Yeah, for the office, I just went in with a desk, a MacBook, a lamp. The windows, I'm going to exchange them later for the same ones that I'm using in the bathroom right next to it. Yeah, because I wanted to put like the same things on the walls, just to make it look a little bit more cozy. I also added a phone on the wall. I don't know why, I just think it fits into the office. I added a guitar. Then I placed down some shelves. There isn't anything really on them right now, but maybe I'm going to do that later. I also added this, yeah, cushion thingy, and there are the stripes again. I don't know, maybe it looks stupid with like double stripes, but I kind of like the look of it. I also added this painting so that there's a bit of a color pop in there as well. Of course, I had to add like a little stool with a lamp on it, as per usual. Yeah, and that is the office almost done. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I also added this potty upstairs, as it is a kid's bathroom. And then I attempted to decorate the upstairs hallway. I don't know, at least there is some stuff there. Oh yeah, I also saw that I missed some paint on there. And then I went in with some finishing touches, like some more lamps, a few more radiators to make sure there's a radiator in every room. And for the outside, I put the railing on the little balcony in the front. I added some lights. Then I adjusted the roof a little bit. I don't know, I wasn't that satisfied with it. Then I ultimately added a few flower pots and planted some CC bushes in there as well. Yeah, I tried out a few trees, but I didn't go for any of those trees as they were too large and they were clipping into the house. Yeah, but these bushes were fine. And I think on the last step, I am going to add a recycling bin, which is a nice thing that I do for usually all of my builds. And that is my first build in this town all done. Let me know what kind of builds you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next speed build.